Can I just add on to that? I think if you were to try and slap a framework, if I could use borrow that term, at different stages of your growth, you would need different type of mentors. I think as a very early stage startup, you're just barely trying to keep your head above water. It is actually less productive or less effective if you get a mentor who's going to tell you about corporate governance and all those things. Not that they are not important, they are, but maybe 3-5 years later. If you're trying to keep your head above water, then you want a mentor that they give you good ideas on how to survive. If you're at a growth stage and you're trying to go overseas, then you want a mentors that can connect you, that has a network. And when you're fairly established, when you're fairly stable, then you want a mentor that is more functional, for example, whether it's finance or whether it is technical in that respect. So I just wanted to offer that.
Virginia?
I take an interesting view towards matching to mentee. Instead of looking at it like marriage, I basically try to scare off my mentees. So I'm like a blunt instrument. You come to me, the first thing I'll tell you is I'm not your mom. I'm not here to nurture you. I'm not here to make you feel good. Okay? But I will tell you these things that you need to do. I remember the very first company, since I started mentoring in US, there's a company called Payware, actually doing quite well now. Before they were a Yes Grant recipient, they were going through the NUS system for looking at startups. And I couldn't understand any of their business model. I kept banging on the table, this doesn't make any sense, go back, go away. I told them to go away 3 or 4 times, and each time they would come back and change and modify, because they were so willing to learn. And so they weren't scared off. So the first thing I was impressed was they weren't scared off at all. So that's my #1 criteria. You don't get scared by me, and you keep coming back even though I yell at you that what's wrong, and you come back and you change. That means you have this thirst of learning and changing that is so critical for you to be a successful entrepreneur. That's the first thing I look for.
So you sound a lot like Zhuge Liang. The startups must be like Liu Bei, come and visit you many times before
Yeah, a little bit.
before you okay, I will give you my wisdom.
Actually, what he said is it makes a lot of sense. I mean, think of it this way. You're trying to plug all the holes, right? It's like a leaky boat. If you don't plug the holes, the boat will leak. They will sink. The more people, and particularly with good mentors, they're going to point out all the holes. And the more holes you can cover a plug, the more likely your boat will not sink. I think of it that way. And for me, having listed 3 companies, it has always been about plugging the holes. I stand in front, when I do road shows, I stand in front of investors. They ask really difficult questions. I say, thank you. I know it's a difficult question, but if I can answer and come up with a good solution to it, I would have plugged that hole. So think of it that way.
So one thing about entrepreneurship, right, is that it's about perseverance, and sometimes you have to be very stubborn to persevere and to succeed. So as a mentee and I'm talking to a mentor, how do I know that I'm being stubborn on the wrong thing? Like Jerry, as the youngest entrepreneur here, how do you know when my mentor is making sense, or I should be stubborn about this, I should stick to my guns?
First of all, I think as a mentee, all of us should be hungry, very hungry. Just a very short story of what I have in my own case for the past 1.5 or 2 years is that there are some interns coming from like universities or polytechnics come to us, and they intern with us for a period of between 8 weeks to 6 months. So it depends on how hungry this intern is. We will actually give out or dish out advice or let them follow our shoes and show them a lot of things, show them the ropes. And in regards to your question, what will possibly be something of benefit to them and how they actually view it is it's all part and parcel of your experience. If you feel that this is something right for you, just go for it, go learn it. I remember during my army days, there was this military warrant officer who told us, you want to do it, you do it good. If not, don't even start it. So there isn't any straight right or wrong, or this may be right, this may be wrong. It's all based on trial and error, and then you experience it for yourself. And then actions speak louder than words. When you put in your action, put your effort, even if it's wrong, you learn from there.
Okay, can I supplement that? Don't listen to other people. Not that I'm disagreeing, but don't listen to other people. You became an entrepreneur with a vision, with an idea. And that idea could be you want to change the world, you want to leave a legacy, you want to do something that you'll be remembered for. So you go back to that. That's where you become stubborn. Because you want to achieve that vision, you want to achieve the dream. To the point where you can disagree with everyone else around you, but you hold on to that dream, you hold on to that vision. I mean, that's how I do it.
To further supplement your supplement, yes, your vision must not change, but the way you work have to change along the way. Your plans do change, if you know what I mean. So what I think Dr. Stephen Fang is saying is that you have to be stubborn with at the right thing, about the right thing. So for example, when I started Fly, I wanted it to be the first actors agency that represent actors, real actors, and not just stars that walk a red carpet in MBS, yeah? So real actors, you know, like quality actors that Singaporeans can be proud of. And people are telling me it's stupid because the good ones have already joined the one and only TV station. And I said, no, but there's so many good actors out there, they are not selected because they are not good looking like me. So, but look at today, those guys are really not good looking. You have Mark Lee, who is very successful. Year after year, he won the best actor. Is he good looking? No. Patricia Moore, oh my God. You know, they are all my friends. They're all my friends, and we are very successful entertainer. So I wanted to prove a point that looks is not everything in the entertainment industry. I wanted to prove that talent lasts longer with the correct help. I wanted to prove that people can do theatre and still make a living out of being in theatre, and which was not possible in the past. People get paid $800. So with marketing and sponsor, with the correct thing to do, actors in Singapore can survive and are respected now as a profession. So I think what Dr. Fang was saying is that you have a vision. My vision is to see a Singaporean actor go into Oscars or Emmys or Grammys or whatever it means, and they say, thank you Singapore, and from Singapore. And if Australia can have a Kate Blanchett, we can have one in Singapore. You understand? So that is my non-wavering vision from the beginning as time when I said. So today, in order to support that vision, we also know actors don't get paid very much, contrary to popular belief. So we have to do the other things. So we do events, we do social media, digital planning, we do marketing, we do concerts, we borrow other countries' successful concerts to make money, you know. But the dream of having our own Oscar winner is still there. But I have to change my plan along the way, because if I only stick to artist management, my company would not be here today. And I think that is something that you need to be stubborn about. Your vision has to be stubborn about, if you feel strongly about it. And when a mentor tells you something, if you disagree, I think no mentor will fault you for being honest about how you feel. And if you do not be honest with them, you will never grow. I've now, in fact, I would like to share with you that sometimes some of you may grow so fast that you outgrow your mentors. You know, you may start, like, I mean, I have a marketing mentor that I outgrow her. I went on to her boss, you know, and then her boss and her competitors and all this. But we're still very good friends. But she got me started. And then I have a spiritual mentor who used to give me spiritual advice on running business. And now I'm telling her, no, you cannot do this. It's wrong. God won't approve of this. And she's standing around, actually I'm so paiseh, I'm pastor. And she's teaching, she's an ex-pastor, and she's teaching me how to run a business in a corporate world. And sometimes I have to remind her that that's not my belief, and that's not according to how I feel that my faith would allow. And so sometimes you can tell your mentors in a nice way, polite way, in a respectful way, because after all you don't pay them, right? You know? So y'all don't pay us, y'all don't be rude lah, huh? Okay. But okay, the other thing is, because we don't pay, what I do is I buy them meals and I buy them drinks and I go to somewhere quiet, and I spend a lot of money on meals. Really, all my saving goes into a nice French restaurant, tea, coffee, for my mentors.
Irene is the mentor to go out with, right?
No. Only when I ask my mentors out. Yeah, no, not for my mentees. Actually, my mentees sometimes do get, that's why I open a cafe, so it's very easy to subsidize the entertainment expenses. But yeah, before I open my own cafe, I actually have to go to like Shangri-La, somewhere quiet, even have to go to church because I never go church last time, yeah, just so that after church can talk to her for half an hour or 1 hour, that sort of stuff. But now I go to church, okay? So I feel so paiseh, so blessed, so must go back. And I think that it's most important for me. After that, I decided to be a mentor. I've mentored a few successful businesses. One of it is an internet company called Good Stuff. Good Stuff is a social media strategist company. And basically, I'm learning from her as well because she knows social media strategizing and digital media marketing. And you know who, right?
Yes.
Her name is Pat Law, and when I took her, she was angry with the government. And now she's working for the president. And see, so she was angry, and I told her that you channel your energy. She has a lot of energy, and she's super smart, and she's very strategic. So I think you just sometimes have to earn their trust first. So first thing first, I really earned her trust, and she respected me. I never judged her for her anger. Only when she tweeted about F here, F there, that I say, I think you're a public figure now, can you stop effing? On Twitter, it's not very nice, and you are running a company now, so I have to tone her down. And then recently she told me she has growing pains because she has now 5 staff, from no staff to 5 staff in 2 years, and now staff are being poached by competitors and bigger agencies, and she got really pissed, and then she's like, let them go. I say no, it happens all the time.
It seems to that it's a relationship, and
Yeah.
so both the mentees and mentors provide value to each other. Just want to ask Virginia, since mentors are busy people, when a mentee visits a mentor, how should they prepare for it? How do they make it worth the mentor's time to be at that beautiful French restaurant?
First of all, I've never been taken to a French restaurant.
You should change your mentees, man.
First of all, I pay, okay? So that's why I try to scare them off first, because I can't afford all these restaurant bills.